Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to deal with the enemy health. Now, we finished the script in the previous lesson, but we need to assign it to the enemy game object, and we're going to do this a little bit differently rather than just dragging and dropping the script on, the same as we did with the enemy AI. So here's my enemy game object in the scene. So first thing I'm going to do is hit apply, and this will ensure that any changes I've made will be applied to the prefab. So now we have that done, let's come and we'll create a new scene. So we'll drag and drop the prefab on. Let's just reset the position and we'll zoom in. So we cannot just drag and drop the health script on this time. We're going to do a quick setup in this video. Again, like a lot of things, we'll probably come back and tweak this at a later date, but we just want to get a basic setup for now so we can actually continue on and create some more scripts and get some more functionality in place first. So here's the enemy, and the first thing we're going to do is game object, and I'm just going to use a capsule. Again, we'll reset the position. So there it is in relation to my enemy game object. So let's have a look. So the enemy game object is about twice the height, so let's double the height of the capsule there, and we can actually turn off the mesh renderer. We won't need that. So let's drag this up now. So it's nearly at the height. I think 4.25 will probably be about right for my model. Obviously your values will be different depending on what models you are using. So let's zero out the position again, and let's adjust it on the Y. So let's drag it up. And a bit like the character controller, we want the top just to be where the top of the head is, and the bottom exactly where the soles of the feet are. Now, that's about right. The radius wants to be the width of the enemy game object. Let's bring that down a bit. I think that might be a little bit too small, but let's have a look. No, I think that's about right. Let's bring it forward. In fact, yeah, let's make the radius about, yeah. We'll bring it back. I'll change it back to 0.5. That's about right. Obviously you can spend more time than what I am in this video. So with that in place, let's give this capsule a name, and obviously we're going to name it enemy health. We're also going to assign a tag, and we've been through this before, so we'll just click add tab, little plus, and again we'll name this enemy health. We'll come back to the game object and we'll assign that new tag. And with that said, we can now drag and drop the enemy health script on. And then we'll take the enemy health game object and we'll drag and drop it onto the enemy itself. So it's now a child of this parent object. And as you can see, the positions are still the same. And that's pretty much done, apart from one important thing. Now, we haven't got the player weapon scripts in place as yet, but if we was to test this now, what would happen is rather than hitting the enemy health game object, this capsule we've created around the enemy, it would actually hit this sphere collider, which means you could shoot here, here, or anywhere around, and it would register a hit because of this. Now, the way we do it is we set a layer. So the layer is normally set to default, but this time we want to ignore raycast. And we want to choose no this object only. And the reason for that is if we were to click yes, it would set this game object as well, which we don't want. We want the raycast to be able to hit the enemy health. So as you can see, that layer has stayed at default, but this layer is now set to ignore raycast, and that would fix any projectile problems. Now, as I said, at the moment we're unable to test this because we don't have the player weapons in place as yet. Those videos are coming, but I would bear this in mind, and when we do get round to completing the weapon scripts for the player so we can actually damage the enemy, you could always set this back to default and actually see what occurs, and just remember to set it back to ignore raycast. So, you know, keep that in mind, and as I said, I always encourage you to experiment so you can see why we do things a certain way. But with that said, let's collapse that down. This is now complete, and we'll hit apply. So that should have applied it to the prefab. And if we come back to this scene, we don't need to save this scene. So we'll hit don't save, and let's come back to the enemy game object in our main level. So here we are. And as you can see, the enemy health game object is now attached. So as I said, that's the enemy health now complete. We cannot test it out as yet because we don't have any way for the player to damage the enemy, although those videos, like I said, are coming, so please stay tuned for those. And in the next video, we'll continue on and create another new script. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.